Money, money, money. Money, money, money. We got that fly Nubian money. We talk about that money. We all about that money. Money, money, money. Money, money, money. We got that fly Nubian money. We talk about that money. We all about that money. We love our black skin, our melanin, always focusing in on that money. We always win, money never thin, 'cause we hustling, always focusing in money, 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 money. We got that money, 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 money. We that fly Nubian money. Boss talk only, we stack it up.
Good afternoon.
Hey, good afternoon, and welcome to Fly Nubian Money, where we help you master your mindset and maximize your money. As you know, I'm Marlo Layson, one of the co-hosts and queens of the Fly Nubian Money podcast, joined by Debra Williams. You know, we love Debra, and we just gonna chat today. It's just me and Debra. How you
That's
feeling,
right.
Debra?
That's right. I'm doing good. Happy Monday. Happy Monday. Back off of a lovely Mother's Day weekend. So, yeah, I'm
Yes,
glad to
Mother's Day.
be.
Happy belated Mother's Day to all the mothers, grandmothers, caretakers, aunties, nanas, whatever you are. If you are nurturing a young life, happy Mother's Day to you.
Yes, happy Mother's Day, ladies. Yes, yes, yes. So, we got an interesting story today. Interesting. Very interesting.
So the OnlyFans model, you all may have heard about. An OnlyFans model has been arrested, and she's facing charges of allegedly suffocating her client to death on camera. She was paid $11,000 to do, some things with a client, and it went too far. Maybe she wasn't trained well enough in suffocating people, or whatever that erotic, what is it called? Erotic asphyxiation, I think it's called. Maybe she wasn't trained enough in that to perform that, but now she is facing some jail time.
Yes, she is. She surely is. And I know the people in the chat will definitely have something to say about that.
They definitely will. So, Deborah, tell me about what you thought when you heard about this story.
I've thought that, it went a little too far. I know people like the kinks, and it seems like the kinks are getting more and more detrimental to your health. Yeah, yeah. Like you might want to leave those kinks alone because it's going too far off the edge, and you're not. It's to the point of no return at this point.
Right.
So
So
that
her name is Michaela Rilersdom, and she entered a guilty plea to the charge of involuntary manslaughter with a stipulated sentence of 4 years, according to the San Diego County District Attorney's Office. She had been charged with murder after her client, a man named Michael Dale, he died of asphyxiation during a fatal fetish session. She is a 32-year-old mother of three, and she is awaiting sentencing. They're going to sentence her on June 6th. So she's going to be away from her children. All I could think is old people in my head, in the back of my mind, saying, all money ain't good money.
and to take you away from your children, absolutely a no-no. Because now someone else has to raise your children for you, and be their caregiver, hands-on and financially.
Absolutely. And there was obviously video of this. I won't call it a crime. It sounds like more of an accident. But there was obviously video of it because she was during a live session on OnlyFans. And this happened back in 2023 is when it actually happened. And prosecutors in court said that he paid her more than $11,000 to engage in the fetish play and asked her to wrap him up in saran wrap like a mummy, glue women's boots onto his feet, and then pour adhesive in his eyes in order to seal them shut. Deborah. People say don't yuck my yum, but I'm gonna yuck this yum. This is a lot for me.
It's too much.
Call me
That is
vanilla.
too. First of all, why are we gluing boots onto our skin? That
Women's boots. So he was putting his feet into, men's feet are wide. So what I don't know what's happening with this. Why they gotta be glued on? And who was taking them off?
the
How you gonna
pain,
get those?
the pain alone of removing glue from your skin.
Yes.
So let's. Oh my goodness. Let's roll this back a little bit. You're putting all these toxins on you with
Yeah.
saran wrap,
Yeah.
which is a formula. Without the saran wrap by itself, just the glue into your skin is a lot. So
Yeah.
we don't, I know they did a toxicology report, but just that alone could kill you. So why would you this is what I'm saying, it's getting too much. They're gonna create some laws behind this soon. Because
So
it's not
the medical examiner said that the bag or the saran wrap had been wrapped around his head for at least 8 minutes. And then they examined text messages between the two, him and the lady, and he had texted her requesting that she do these things. She was asking that she glue his eyes shut with Gorilla Glue. But he did not request the bag be placed over his head. So was she wrong for placing the bag over his head?
so the saran wrap was okay, but once she put the bag over the saran wrap, that is what caused her to have to do the time.
I guess.
Wow.
This is above my pay grade, Deborah. I realized reading all of this that even though vanilla is not my favorite ice cream flavor, it is me in an intimate situation. I'm obviously vanilla because I don't understand any of this. Super glue my eyes shut. I fixed my mom's toilet this weekend and I put Gorilla Glue on it, and we were laughing because she was like, "Oh," I was like, "They're gonna be mad at you if they go to fix this toilet seat and you done Gorilla Glued it down. What are we doing? Y'all gotta help me in the chat because
Yes.
I don't understand this.
Oh my gosh. Let's
I don't
see. We got.
understand this.
Oh,
So
thank
please,
you. Happy Mother's Day from Booker, 1138. Oh, look, Mama Walter
yeah,
Rain said both of them are sick,
you're
and for
right.
requesting, and her
It's
for
a
doing
lot.
it.
And she was taking a risk. So this is what I always wonder, right? She's looking obviously at the dollar amount. In this economy, $11,000, everybody can use it. But you're not thinking it through. I feel like I'm always thinking through things to the point of I will think myself out of a situation, right? Because I'm an overthinker. And I feel like some people ain't thinking enough. Like, you never thought, no, I'm not going to saran wrap your face and close your limbs and lids. I'm not going to do that because what if something goes wrong? Right now, I'm responsible because I'm the one that put you in these kinky boots with this glue.
Literally.
It's too much. It is too
It's a very sad situation. It's really sad that the internet, well, you know what? Before the internet, these people were into these things.
yeah.
So now we're just really overexposed with the stories because everybody wants to bring it to the media so we could see what they're doing now.
And can you imagine being on her live? Like, for people in her OnlyFans community, because this was probably a subscription upgrade type of thing. Unfortunately, I know a little bit about that part of the internet. I did some research because I was working on a project years ago, and it's subscription based, right? And there's tiers to subscription. So this probably would have been a top tier subscriber viewing situation, right? And so to think that she has however many people in the room at the time witnessing this is a level of masochism. This is again, y'all, above my pay grade. Anybody in the chat who is in this price range, let me know what is going on because I don't know.
I'm telling you, it's I just can't. It's still like like the glowing of the eyes and the feet to the boot, like that right there. Enough is enough torture.
Yeah.
How much torture do you want? Like, what in the world? And now the subscriptions based gives me like judge and jury type.
Yeah, because were they like egging it on? Were they encouraging her to do more or go farther? Because obviously these people are all in here for fetish life situations as well.
And then he dies. So you watch this happen. Does the judge pull those people in? You know what I'm saying? Like, because now you're witnesses.
There are, so not only were the people on OnlyFans, so the prosecutor found a video of Ryerson, that's the lady, where she appeared to be filming for OnlyFans, and she sent images to her husband of him, the man Dale, covered in covered in plastic wrap with a bag over his head. So not only is she a mother with 3 children, she is a wife and a mother with 3 children. So she is going to prison, leaving all of this photographic evidence. And perhaps the argument from the prosecutors is that if she wasn't, taking pictures and taking time to text them, maybe she could have gotten him up out of the plastic wrap in time. But again, I don't know how this works. I need help, y'all. I need y'all to help me understand. Like, is there a timer? Do you say 15 minutes? Is it until you see my pulse quicken? Like, at what point is she supposed to have, gone in and pop that saran wrap so that he could get some ventilation in there? I just don't know. I don't know enough about this.
Oh my goodness. Let's see.
Said they were probably sending her tips. They probably were.
Sending her tips on how to, oh my gosh, I didn't even think about that. And he probably was like, yeah, let's do it,
But then, so during court, his roommate testified. Now, this is his roommate of 5 days, so I don't even know, but the roommate testified that he overheard the deceased asking Rotterdam to stop and even offered her more money if she did. And then her defense pointed out that she called 911, performed life-saving measures on Dale, and was at the scene when police arrived. So she's saying, look, I did everything right. But the roommate is saying he heard him saying, stop, like, help me, help, it's time, essentially ringing a bell. But how could you have a safe word if you got a plastic wrap?
Oh, so they were at his place when this was taking place.
I don't know.
For if his roommate is saying that he heard it, so that had to be.
Yeah, I mean, I guess.
Oh my goodness, this is.
I don't know. It's a lot. It is a lot. I don't know. I think I didn't even realize that people were doing this on OnlyFans. I feel like this kind of fetish stuff, I feel like there's a trust that you gotta build up. Do you just go to anybody for fetish? Where are my fetish people? Because this is y'all know I normally be knowing, but now I don't know.
This is out of your, like you said, this is out of your pay grade.
This is
oh my gosh, I want to try to play this video where people are talking about it.
Please, because I need help.
I just want to make sure, because I see when I looked up some of the videos, I see that there are a few cases like this.
Really?
Yeah.
The fetish going too far?
The fetish going too far. Too many people doing this. I'm like, wow. this is, you know, this really, really sad. Let's see. Give me one moment here. Mm,
There's an interesting, in our pre-production, if you will, but there's an interesting question that was posed about, is influence going too far? Are we going too far with this influencer economy? Do you
yeah,
think that the
I believe
influencer is
so.
like out of hand?
Totally, totally out of hand. And I think that because they want to get likes, views, they just they're going overboard and probably what do you call it? Imposter syndrome. Don't want to have
Mm,
the same thing like someone else. So
yeah,
let me just take this way over the top and it's too far now. It's
yeah.
going way too far. Way, way, way too far.
It's who
In
was
my
it? I think the man that did the kung fu movies died of what was it? I think Kerrigan, David Kerrigan. He died of like erotic asphyxiation. He was with a woman and he like choked himself and he would, his thing was, people came forward after he died and people said his thing was he liked to have his breathing constricted for climax. So he would tie a tie around his neck and simulate a hanging, and then he would arrive, and then he would be good. And then that one time that it happened, he could not untie himself, and he ended up dying. So
oh
this is a
my
level of eroticism, y'all. I don't know. I don't know this level.
yeah,
Yeah,
mm-mm.
fetish people is crazy.
Cannot. I cannot even I can't even fathom wanting to do anything like that. Not and I don't want to be with anybody who wants to um do that as well. That's
So if a
a
man says, "Listen, I will take care of your everything, but just 3 days a week, I need you to get me to the point where I can't breathe because that's the only way that I can experience pleasure." You saying no? That's not your man.
that's not my man and we're not doing that. And no. We've seen enough on Color Purple. How my daddy died. Not on top of me. He's not dying. He's
I
not.
died on
He's
top of
not dying on top of me. No, we're not doing that. You know, and then you don't want to get the title, the Black Widow.
the Black Widow. Oh, you got all of men dying at your feet.
Oh my gosh, let's see. Real Talk Arthur says,
Yes. Yeah, author. And I don't want to judge, but like this just seems like I don't need to die for it. I don't need to die for the pleasure. I don't need to come close to death for the pleasure.
and how selfish are you to not think of the outcome, especially when you have children? You have a husband that is giving you permission to do
Yeah.
this, but what about your children? You know, that's really sad that growing up, they were like, well, why wasn't your mom in your life? Because
Yes. Because
let's see, Mama Walterine got something here too. Yeah, people are
oh
going
yeah,
too far for the 15 minutes since the age of social media. The 15 minutes have turned into a lifetime
yeah,
decision.
yeah. Definitely turned into a lifetime.
They've
And not
turned life,
a sentence.
they've turned lifetime movies into quick instant movies now.
Yes, yes.
That is something. That is something. And I used to love to watch a good Lifetime movie. When it first
Do
came
you,
out, that was my thing.
do you think that people are kind of fantasizing or glamorizing adult content? This is kind of what I was saying in the beginning without thinking through the consequences, right? Like you seeing, oh, I'll pay you $11,000 to do this. And you like, all right. But now here we are. It's cost you more than $11,000 in legal fees to even get to the place where you're having a plea agreement and you're not charged with actual murder, right? She won't do time for murder. She'll do time for a lesser charge. So you've spent more than $11,000 in legal fees. You're going to be more than $11,000 separated from your family. And you have to go to prison. So all of the creature comforts that you created as an OnlyFans model, making this kind of money, it's about to be stripped away from you.
Exactly. So was it, you might as well have lived a regular life.
You, be vanilla me because I ain't going to jail.
You might as well have lived a regular life and stayed out of that scene.
And
Stay
then
at home with
your
with
husband. So what's the thing about modern relationships right now? Everybody is a polygram or a hexagram or parallelogram. People doing all kind of stuff, all kind of shapes and sizes and shape shifters. What do you think about modern relationships? Can you fathom a situation where you're in a full relationship, where you got kids, a regular life, and then on the side, you're dabbling in this kinky eroticism? Do you think her husband, like, now I want to talk to her husband, like, was this something she was doing and you came into it? Did y'all decide together she was going to do this? Did y'all get together and she was like, I like kink, and you were like, no, but I love you anyway? Like, how did we get to this place where you doing this super kinky stuff and sending your husband pictures of being like, look, I got him wrapped up like a steak?
where was the husband's antennas at during like, cut the plastic. What in the world? Or unless he's into it.
He may be, or maybe he's a pimp. Maybe he pimping. Maybe he behind the scenes. Like, that's a theme in the new season of Euphoria, is that one of the girls is a big influencer, and she and her husband is pushing her career, and she's sitting down talking to her friend, and the friend is like, he's pimping out his wife for wedding decorations, right? So they have this lavish wedding, and it's all paid for through these social media sponsorships and partnerships. But the friend is like, he is pimping you out, the flowers, like all of that stuff. And she's like, I did this, right? Like, just owning it.
That's why she's in Euphoria. That is why she's in Euphoria, because are you curious? Like, you're not even thinking logically about what you're doing, the consequences of the reaction after this happens. But my God, like, come on, the saran wrap piece. We know if you just put a little piece over your face, you're like,
Immediately.
So can you imagine being wrapped up 4 times?
With a bag on your head.
Girl.
She got into it with the bag. She was like, wait, one more thing. Actually,
we're going to take it to a higher level.
Let me get this Kroger bag right quick. And
I would not ever want to receive that level of eroticism.
It's too erotic.
That's like crack. That was crack.
That was
crack.
Erotic crack. Yes.
They couldn't, like, he just wanted more and more and more. And you see what happens. Like, it's so scary though.
It is very, and what your neighbors are into. You never know what your neighbors are into. Your neighbors you be minding your business one day and the ambulance is there the next day. And they rolling out Dale in saran wrap. The neighbors was like, what is this?
The wife is like, wasn't that Charlie? Going out the door. He had a plastic bag on his head.
Confused.
If you go 8 minutes without oxygen, you're brain dead.
Yeah.
You're brain dead.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, okay, I understand in fetish communities, they have like safe words and things of that nature, right? So that when you get to the point, you're supposed to use your safe word and then the person stops. Did they not establish a safe word or what? I just want to know what was going on that you just left him in
He
the
couldn't
rap.
say the safe word.
You didn't put a little, like, because again, y'all, I did a little research when I was trying to work on this project. And I've seen where people do like put themselves in shrink wrap or something, but they have like a little breathing tube, right? So everything is shrink wrap, but then they have a little tube in their mouth. So y'all didn't even know about the shrink wrap tube so that he could at least be breathing while he's having, because the erotic, I don't know. Dale, I wish you could
So
talk
the
to me
tube
about
is like when you go. Wait, I'm trying to picture this. So the tube is almost like when you're in a submarine. You have that tube to get the air.
Mm-hmm.
Or when you go down under the water.
You know what? It's actually like the air mattress tube. So picture like the tube that you plug in for the air mattress, that little cone shaped tube is like that. And they just have it in there and it's part of the suit and they can breathe, but they have that constriction because I don't know, it's something about the constriction that they like.
What? Look, you know what? Black Lexicon. What does it say? Married women, not just single women. Oh my God! Look at that. Somebody, the safe word
Call
is
on them.
Jesus.
Call on them. But she wasn't listening according to the 5 day roommate.
Look at that.
Yeah.
Mm.
She was turned up. She was into it. She
Yeah,
was
she
into it.
was. She was making that 11,000. Probably the highest amount that she had ever made.
Probably.
Mm,
Uh,
mm, mm. You're right. You're right. The real black lexicon it don't get any safer than that.
yes. Call on Jesus.
Oh my gosh. Yes, you definitely got to call on Jesus. None of my videos are playing. Oh my God.
Well, while you figure out your videos, I have another question for you in the chat.
Okay.
Is internet fame changing human behavior? This is a question that I ask myself all the time. How is the internet playing into how we go about our day, right? Now things happen, people pull out their phone, there's a fight. It was a time people try to intervene. Nobody's intervening, people just recording. You can get the fight from every angle. If something bad is happening, a car crash or whatever is going on, everybody is their own little journalistic society, but nobody is helping. Where are the helpers, y'all?
Nope. Everybody wants to get views and likes.
Views and the online currency is shifting us away from our humanity.
It
It is
is.
shifting us away from our humanity. Validation based income. So, do you think, all right, I want you to get into the mind of fetish people, Deborah, because I know you can open your mind and go to all kind of places. So, do you think that um, younger generations are more likely to fall prey to this? So, think about young Deborah. If there was an internet and there were opportunities for young Deborah to make $11,000 in a short amount of time. And it didn't involve crack, and it technically was legal, right? Being an OnlyFans model, how do you feel about it morally? It's legal. What do you think? Do you think that as a young person, if you sat here today in 2026 at your most exploratory age, would you have been open to perhaps engaging in OnlyFans content? Maybe not this. Maybe you weren't the fetish girl wrapping people up in saran wrap, but would you be out there with your cheeks clapping and selling toe pictures and all that other stuff that they be doing over there on OnlyFans?
Under 25-year-old Deborah, yes.
Okay.
She would have been exploratory. She would have been not in the saran wrap. Because
Say, I would stop
yeah,
at
I
some.
know I'm going to jail. I'm going to jail if he don't die. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to jail because I'm black and what you think you're doing.
What you
So
think you doing?
What you think you doing? You
Yeah.
ain't. This ain't y'all world. This ain't
This ain't y'all world.
what you think you doing. You know better. But put a toe out there, put my foot out there. Smile, talk, have conversation. I could possibly do that.
Okay.
Even do a little dance for you. Put a little red
Yo,
light on for you.
said if you buy the hot tier, she might have been shaking a shimmy back in the day.
Mhm. But no, not wrapping up anybody. Not. I'm not doing that. Not
All
at
right.
25. Yeah, no.
So
I was
now,
scary. A little. That's scary. That is borderline. Like, oh my God. Because
yeah,
we think about things like that. We don't want to play. We don't play around with death in the Black community.
no, we don't. But
We
she
don't
was
play.
black. She was California black. Sorry, California. Sorry, California. Y'all are different black. Y'all different kind of black in California. So she was California black, but she was black.
Oh my gosh. Too much bleaching. Too much hair bleaching. Did something to the brain. That's all.
So this when things like this happen, as a person who follows legislation all the time, what I know is that state legislatures, city councils, all governing bodies are reactionary. Do you think that this incident is going to spur lawmakers to make tighter regulations on this type of content? Because a lot of people already don't like it. They don't want this sexual freedom on the internet, even though it's at a subscriber level. So you can't even really see this content unless you're paying for it or unless you get a little free Windows subscription. But do you think that this is going to bring about some stricter regulation on this kind of content? Or do you think there should be?
It's so hard because it's media, there's freedom of speech, um,
Choice.
freedom of choice. Yep. And they both were consenting. They both were consenting. Um, I don't know because some of our, lawmakers, they're into this kind of stuff. So
But that don't stop them. That don't stop them from regulating it and talking against it. Look, somebody will get to the mic and talk about a bill and fight so fiery for it and go right to fetish land after they leave. Can't wait because they're so stressed out from the job. Can't wait to go get wrapped in saran wrap so that they can feel whatever they feel when they wrapped in saran wrap.
can you imagine how many people who have done it and never thought that they would have died until they saw the story? That right there.
Yes.
I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure there
I'm
are a
sure a
lot
lot
of
of people scared straight by this. I'm sure
or
a lot of people,
they're gonna get the little straw, like you said.
look, the straws might be sold out. The slow breathing tubes might be sold out today.
We might want to check Amazon to see if they're on wait, if it's on a
Now,
wait list.
the algorithm is always following you. So now that I'm saying this and all of my pages are open, I'm gonna start getting ads for that. I'm gonna be like, what is this? Timu gonna have that little tube. Because they sell anything over in Timu.
They're gonna say, normally bought with this product, they're gonna have like the thing of saran wrap, and then they'll have these straws to go with it in your cart, in your favorites.
Oh, not your favorites. Oh my gosh. Do
Oh
you
my,
think
we do
so?
have
There's a
stats
thing.
though. We have stats. So if we want to go to
Oh
stats.
yeah. Let's get the stats.
We got some stats. We do have those. Let's see. Here we go. So let's see. There you go.
All right. So OnlyFans reportedly generates billions. Yes, billions with a B annually through subscription-based content. Because you gotta have. So if you telling me you saw something on OnlyFans, I know you paying between $3 and $30 a month for that content because it's all subscriber based.
Real? I didn't even know it cost that much.
Yeah, I mean, some of the higher end girls do charge $20 a month or $25 a month. If you are like a premium member, it could get pricey in OnlyFans world. Many creators rely on adult content as primary or supplementary income. We've seen this before. We've seen cops get fired. We've seen Teachers get fired because they are OnlyFans, supplementing that low public service income with a little side hustle. And they've been fired because the job doesn't agree with OnlyFans. So this is a real stat.
When you talk about the supplemental income, the daggone lawmakers know that people can't live off a minimum wage. They don't live off a minimum wage. So what do you think the regular people have to do? They got to supplement their income.
Girl, them folks crazy. Let me tell you, the Louisiana legislature, just in this session that they're currently in, said no to a $10 hour state minimum wage. But they have legislation that they're going to vote on themselves for a $30,000 a year pay raise. So they don't have no problem with optics and doing crazy stuff.
Advocating for themselves, but you
Yeah.
got the position because you said you're for the people.
Well, I forgot, Deborah. I have forgot. There's a lot of stuff going on. I forgot. The creator economy continues growing as traditional wages struggle to keep up with inflation. Ain't that the truth? And online content algorithms often reward shock value, controversy, and extreme behavior with higher visibility. And that is because when we hear screeching tires, we cannot help but look for the crash. And the algorithm is geared toward human behavior. I didn't know we were going to talk about this, but I posted this morning. The algorithm is not magic, it is behavior, right? And it understands human behavior as a collective, but it also understands your individual behavior, right? So if you don't want to see weird content, you got to scroll past it, because once you get that 3-second view, you in there. They feel like that's what you want. This is what you're interested in. This is something that you like. So let me give Debra more of these people in saran wrap, fetish clothing, Temu chains, or whatever it is, because you hovered over that video trying to figure out what it was. Now they think that's your lifestyle.
Wait a minute, Marlo. You said it's only 3 seconds now?
Yeah, so it's 3. If you stay in a piece of content for a minimum of 3 seconds, it is going to show you more content like that. Because typically it only takes a few seconds to engage. Now, if you press play on a video, then that's even more so. The highest metric in social media is the share. So if you are hate sharing content, and then you keep finding yourself hate sharing content, it's because you're hate sharing the content. And so it keeps giving it, because the algorithm doesn't know that you hate it. It's not looking at your caption that says, I hate this so much. It just sees that you took that ultimate measure. That's why if you look at how the reactions are, the like, which is the least important, is way over here, all the way to the share, which is over here, because that is you showing, I really like this. I like this so much that I rebroadcasted it. So if you don't like it, guys, don't share it.
Good, very good. Thank you. That was a good lesson. I didn't realize that. Thank you. And then the last one.
Cases involving dangerous online challenges, stunts, or adult content continue increasing alongside monetized internet culture. Yeah, because we keep stopping. We keep watching it, right? We keep watching the dumb challenge videos. The kids were eating the Tide Pods, or, there was something going on here with Orbeez. Kids were like eating Orbeez. Don't do it. Why are you doing that?
Yeah, I remember well, you know what? I didn't know about the Orbeez until I was decorating for an event at my church.
Mm-hmm.
And the children were there for like after school program. And they was like, oh my God, because I had made a huge, like a plastic container of them, because I was filling up vases. So I let them swell up overnight so they could be really big. And the kids was like, can we have them, please? And I was like, no, these are for decoration. And they was like, but they're Orbeez. And I said, Orbeez? This is face filler, like not Orbeez. I don't know what that is. And I was like, no, Miss Debbie, that's what it is. And I was like, oh. I said, no, you can't have these. I need them. But I didn't even know that was a thing until the children, like, that's why I stay close to my grandchildren. Like, they educate me on a lot of stuff. The older ones, educate me what's going on in the
Yeah,
street.
you need young people in your life so you can stay up on what is going on in the streets. Hey, Anonymous, you late. So Anonymous asked, how did she suffocate him? Face sitting, no, she wrapped him up in saran wrap. She
Face
wrapped him
it.
up in saran wrap. She glued his feet into women's boots, glued his eyelids shut, and placed a bag over his head. Apparently, the bag over his head was a step too far. And that's what the prosecution built their case on. He ended up dying because he requested some fetish action and it went left.
Mm, mm, mm. That's right. Y'all
Hmm.
want me? Mm-hmm. Until it hit home. You're right about that.
I'm about to make the men mad. Sorry, Anonymous. But this makes me wonder if this man is suffering from the male loneliness epidemic. Was he lonely? Um, it says about 15% of men report having no close friends. So
Wow.
was he lonely? You know, he's got this 5-day roommate. Was he divorced? Like now I need his backstory. Like what led Dale down this road to meet his maker while he was just trying to, get a little happenings happening.
Yeah, yeah, that part. Where are his friends at? And would he even listen to his friends though?
Would you tell your friends if you needed to be asphyxiated?
Well, women are different. We talk about things. We
Yeah,
do
no,
talk about things. We
we
talk
do
about
talk about things. We do
even
talk.
when it's crazy, we still talk about it.
Yeah, we do talk about things. So maybe that's part
But
of
the
the male loneliness.
men, they're not gonna talk about it.
Maybe that's part of the loneliness. They don't have an outlet for them to be like, you know what I like? I like
Look at Anonymous.
all the time. I mean, I know that they do because I know a lot of politicians, a lot of men are into this. They say he probably is right. They say a lot of men, high value men, like this sort of thing because they're in power all the time. They're always in charge and they want to be dominated.
Oh,
Yeah, I have heard that before. Yeah,
wow.
it says
You know
power
what?
thing. Yeah.
Yeah, that is true. That now that we're talking more, I can remember a guy telling me about a crazy situation with a doctor that they played this terrible game,
Yeah.
and you're right. It's a power struggle.
Yeah, because they're always telling people what to do. They're always in charge. And so they have this opportunity, right? I'm saran wrapped. I can't talk. I'm depending, like so many people depend on the CEO to make good decisions so that the company moves forward, so that they keep their job. So I'm depending on you to come out of this on the other side. It's rough.
It,
Don't do this. I don't recommend this. I am not recommending this to the people.
it's really rough when you put your whole entire life into someone's hands like that for 8 minutes.
For eight
Eight
minutes.
8 minutes.
So what do we tell the young people, right? Because I feel like when we were young, we had after school specials. We get that movie telling us don't smoke crack, right? And don't be a bully. Like we had all this messaging coming through media. Now that media is not controlled by television networks and you can really control your own media, what do we tell young people about this sort of thing? Do we have conversations with young people about, you know, if you're gonna be an OnlyFans model, be sure you get that too. Like what, like what are we telling young people as they prepare for life, right? And they see the glamour, right? They might have missed this story. They don't know that she is about to go to jail. They may just see her posting cutesy pictures online and they want that life. What do we tell them as a cautionary tale?
We tell them that everything on the internet lives forever. We tell them that, making life decisions on social media can be a wrong decision. You think you're making a video of for fun or and it turns into something else that can change your life forever, like it did this young lady. She could have made other kind of content. You can choose your content wisely.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be what this was. And it could have been something where you provide a solution to a problem. There's so many problems we got in this
So
world.
many problems.
Like, like,
You could be a problem solver, but you'd rather be a problem maker. I didn't even think
exactly,
I didn't even
exactly.
consider that. Yes, don't be a problem maker, be a problem solver.
Be a problem solver. You could have been just baking cookies, looking pretty.
She
How
said,
about
look, I use my cookie to bake, okay?
okay? She got the cookies. And that's what happened. That's what happened. She doing too much with the cookie.
So do you think OnlyFans has a degree of responsibility in this?
OnlyFans should start putting up a disclaimer. They should. They should put up that extreme sticker. You know, when we used to buy albums back in the day,
Oh,
explicit,
explicit? Yeah.
they need to do that.
But I think there's something in the you again, when I was doing my research, OnlyFans was still owned by Twitter. This is before Elon bought Twitter. So I don't know if it's a standalone entity now or you used to have to have a Twitter account to even get to OnlyFans as a platform. And so it's not like that anymore, obviously. And so I don't know what the chain of command is, but it used to come like when you signed up for an OnlyFans account, it would tell you like some of the creators may create explicit, sexually explicit content. And you had to, because again, it's subscription based. So you had to agree, and that was in the terms and conditions. So I think that they feel like they're already covering that. But should they have, like, because should they have more moderation? Should they have, should people not be allowed to do sex acts live because you never know what could happen? Is it going
So
too far into people's personal freedoms?
So okay, because I'm not on OnlyFans. So you can actually so OnlyFans could also be like the Playboy channel.
Yeah.
You have channels that are like that. Is that explicit?
Well, I think that explicit by FCC terms is, nipples, cookie, butt crack. If you can see any of those three by the FCC standards, then that's explicit content. So I don't know if they go a step further. Are they using the MPAA, which are the movie ratings, for explicit content? Like what garners an X? And usually an X is just frontal nudity, right? And you got frontal nudity, you're gonna get an X, even if it's a mainstream film, even if it has mainstream actors and actresses in it. If there's frontal nudity, they'll get an X. And then the double X and the triple X obviously are for penetration, right? There's penetration going on once you start doubling and tripling the X's.
Right. But I didn't know that OnlyFans offered those type of services as well.
Yeah, so initially, the first people who were on OnlyFans were celebrities who were given a little bit more. So, like, think sexy girls who would have their even sexier pictures on the internet, right? Porn stars were on OnlyFans very early because they were doing behind the scenes and they were doing a day in my life. And so you would get a look at them. Obviously, you could see them on whatever porn platform, but this was a more intimate view, a more personalized view of their lives. And so then other content creators who were, again, just sexy girls who took sexy pictures. Well, now I'm gonna do a nude shoot. I'm gonna put it on OnlyFans. So that was kind of, as Twitter was moving pornography off of the site. Now there's pornography back on Twitter. But as Twitter, at one point they were phasing pornography off the site, people were moving to OnlyFans, right? Because Black China had an OnlyFans that was popping for a while, and she was making a lot of money There's another girl who makes millions of dollars a year on OnlyFans. When we heard about Shannon Sharp, when he got sued, that was a girl that's on an OnlyFans model. So yeah, that. But there are also people who do straight line content, right? And the OnlyFans is just an extension of that content where you can get insider information where it's subscription based. But they try to separate them. And so typically people that don't have sexual content or nudity in their content, typically they'll just go to Patreon, right? Because Patreon doesn't allow nudity and all of that stuff. So there should be a clear wall of demarcation between the two, but there are people on OnlyFans that are just cooking, right? They are people on OnlyFans that are just giving you advice.
So Patreon is more like the bougier side of the content.
Yeah, so Patreon, well, they're two separate platforms, but they function exactly the same. It's subscriber-based content, right?
Got you. But OnlyFans is known for being maybe a little more risque.
Yeah, but because of who adopted OnlyFans earlier, that's why I got the stigma. Because like I said, it was, a lot of porn stars that were there in the early stages.
Because I only heard of OnlyFans maybe like the middle of the pandemic. I didn't know about it prior to it.
Yeah, so I think I first found out about OnlyFans 2016 or 2017. And like I said, you had to go through Twitter. You had to have a Twitter account in order to even log into OnlyFans. You had to use your Twitter account.
Got you. I don't know if this is anonymous put in that the OnlyFans, the owner? Really?
Oh wow.
I didn't know that.
I don't even know who owns OnlyFans. Again, like it's such a.
Is it an investment? Probably an investment group of people.
Probably.
Right.
He said Leonid
here we go.
Turned it into softcore pornography. Yes, he did. But there's also some hardcore stuff on there.
I know there is a lawmaker who's looking to, and I know we talked about it on the show before, who's looking to make the OnlyFans, I guess the content that makes a lot of money, make them pay, or the ones that do more explicit things, they want them to pay like a sex tax. And I'm like,
a sex tax is crazy. How would you make them pay a sex tax if actual pornography companies don't pay a sex tax, right? If that's the case, then I'll just go start me a pornography media company. What is this sex tax? And what do you think is a reasonable sex tax, sir? Like, see, that's what I talk about lawmakers. Like, you didn't even think that through. You bit your hamburger and you was like, sex tax.
Yes, exactly. But they don't, but you can't raise the taxes on the very ultra wealthy people. But you can come up with a sex tax.
Yes.
Make it make sense.
Tax makes more sense to them.
Wow, this has been a very, very interesting conversation today. Like, oh my goodness. And I'm glad you stepped in the room, Anonymous, and everyone in the chat.
I'm telling you, with your information about the owner of OnlyFans, you got an account over there.
Anonymous, yeah. Oh, let's see.
Oh, a troll politician.
Yeah. Okay.
He just wanted his name in the paper. He wanted his name in the paper. That's what it sounds like to me.
That is so true. All right, we can go on into final thoughts.
Oh, and then he from Florida. Okay, yeah, never mind. Not to be taken seriously, Mr. Fishbag. Nobody's taking you seriously. You actually look like somebody I saw in the background of an OnlyFans video before. So no.
Would you say Anonymous? No, I don't have an OnlyFans account.
You just have a wealth of knowledge like me, which is fine. We can just have a wealth of knowledge about things and know who the people are and the players. That's important.
Thank you, Anonymous. We need that. Thank you.
Well, I thank y'all for being here today and helping me and Debra get through this, walk through these waters we ain't never walked in before. I don't know nothing about fetishism at all. But for my final thought, and then Debra will give hers, and then we'll let y'all go about y'all Monday. For my final thought, I just want to say, be careful out there. right? The first thing that I thought of when I saw this story is all money ain't good money. And sometimes you have to pay a cost that's so much higher than the money that you made to make something right. And in the case of this young lady, she is going to go to jail. She is going to be separated from her family. Her legal costs were certainly more than $11,000 that she made off of this incident. And I just want people to think more, and I want people to have more compassion. I want people to have a little bit, bring privacy back. Bring back closing the door. Bring back keeping it to the crib. Keep it in the group chat. Me and Debra don't need it. Debra did not need this education today. She didn't need to know about that little tube or how OnlyFans works. She didn't need none of this. And when things like this happen, then we all got to learn, because we're all curious and we're all trying to find out how it happened. Oh, my name is Marlo Layson. If you're looking for me, I have digital content all over the web. I'm a journalist and a filmmaker, and I have a book that is 10 years old. It is a memoir. I describe it as a memoir about when I lost my mind when I was a teenager. Obviously, my mind is back. But it is a book that is very helpful. I share personal stories, and I'm going to do a 10-year retrospective, looking back at the book, what I've learned since I wrote it 10 years ago. I was not yet in my 40s when I wrote it. I'm pushing 50, and so my mind is very different than it was even when I wrote the book. So be on the lookout for that. I wish I had my name on the screen, but if you look for me on Instagram, I am Olram Marlo _ That is my name, backward, then forward, and an underscore on the end. So you turn it around like Oprah, right? Oprah has Harpo Studios. She turns her name around, same deal, Olram Marlo. And you can find me on Instagram and follow me. And coming up soon, I will be sharing life lessons and things that I learned along the way to hopefully help other people and help some of these girls that's out here asphyxiating people and getting separated from their kids.
Thank you, Marlo. Thank you. I was looking to see if I had it so I could pop it up on the screen, but don't worry, I'm going to put it in there because we're not going to let that happen anymore. We're going to have all that information. We want to read the book. We want to get the book.
And the link to the book is on my Instagram and my bio.
Okay, we'll look you up there. Thank you. Thank you. My goodness, my final thoughts. Oh man, let's leave some room for the imagination in relationships. Everybody doesn't have to know your business. I like a nice, loving relationship where what we do behind our closed doors is our business. And I'm going to be safe about it because although I look good in orange, I don't want to wear it every day. I don't want to wear orange every day. And I want to see my grandchildren grow up, and I want to attend all the things. I love a good brunch. You can't have brunch in jail. You can't do that. So I'm going to think not once, not twice, a whole lot of times before even thinking about committing any of these type of situations, because I don't want to have to use saran wrap other than to wrap up food, and I hardly use that. I don't want to use the little straw. I use reusable straws, so I don't want to use that. But this conversation has been so good, and I learned a lot today, and I'm grateful for everyone in the chat and everybody who's watching. I am Debra E. Williams on YouTube. I'm Debra Will Win 11, and I'm working on bringing back my platforms and stuff. So I have some more stuff to share later. Thank you guys so much. Did we have an outro? Thank you, Mama Walterine. Did we have an outro? No outro. Hold on. Let's see. We do have an outro. I'll read it quickly. Let's see. Hold on. I apologize. So the outro we have is, at the end of the day, this conversation is bigger than one crime story. It forces people to think about what happens when money, loneliness, internet culture, and desperation all collide in the same space. The internet has created new ways to make money, but it also has created pressure to constantly push limits in order to stay visible and profitable. And when people start treating danger like content, the consequences can become very real quickly. Listen, let's do better, people. Let's do better. We thank you again all for being here at Fly Nubian Money, where we help you to master your mindset and maximize your money. We'll see you guys tomorrow at 1 p.m. Thank you. Have a good day. Peace.